So yeah, let's go through the newly listed laptops, customized new laptops. Before we move ahead, remember the event thing is still confusing me. Okay, so unless a reputable source comes with a final word, yes, this new event design where they have blocked the vent from right and left and only using the vent from the back, that is actually working whatever the R&D they have done. Unless a reputable source confirms that, it is not to be bought. Simple as that. Unless you like to take risks in life, sure, go ahead. But even then when you click on next and add services, even then even then the ADP hasn't showed up until the time of making this video. It will show up. This price will hopefully come down to 3,000 rupees. I think this is the normal price, some conversion error or something. So yeah, wait for here to show 3,000 before moving ahead. Okay, and let's see if there is bag and anything extra. Oh yeah, so we have the free bag. Anyways, that's the main thing with this laptop. That's the main thing that since this is completely new, even the CPU and the GPU benchmarks, these are completely random. So I have added these laptops to the list. Let's go through the configurations that you can make. Here are all the configurations that you can make. The reason these are all red because there is very little data, and sometimes in most cases I have to use average data or data from other laptops, which is not the sheet is how the sheet is populated. This sheet is populated based on exact model, which it has not come. This 3900H score that you are seeing here is actually the score of the Legion, not the LOQ. It's the Legion's score. And a similar story with other CPUs also. You will see that 14700HX is only 13,800. However, the 13650HX is 3900. This is not an error. This is not an error. Go watch the video I just shared with you. Okay, this is a desktop video. It's not the laptop video, but similar story goes. The 14th gen Intel is not, at least, is not an uplift. I am talking about this one. 14700K video, and you will understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so that this is not an error. Just because it's 14th gen doesn't mean it's performing better. Anyways, moving ahead, here are the options that you can customize. Basically, 13450 you can have with 3050, 4050, and 4060. 13650 you can have with the thin 3 GPUs. 14700HX you can only have with 4060. 1 TB is the way to go, and this being 1080p 300 nits, not earlier 1440p 300 nits as it was, is not an issue. This is a 16-inch machine. Earlier, the reason for selecting the 16-inch or the 15-inch 1440p screen wasn't the resolution, it was the color accuracy, which is still intact, 100% SRGB. So we will move ahead with that. RAM is 16 GB, but thankfully they have added an option to get just one stick. This being DDR5, this doesn't matter, and it's a good thing so that you have the other slot free. Okay. Office is there, but it's no more 1 rupees. It is back to the 2000 rupees. ADP, once it will arrive, we will make this video. Now, very important thing, I forgot telling about this the last time LOQ launched in August. With IdeaPad Gen 7 customized, when it launched exactly for the base variant for 74,000. The customized one I'm talking about. In the customized, the base variant was 75,000. In 5 days, it changed to 80,000. Similar story happened with LOQ. LOQ being the new IdeaPad, so it is basically IdeaPad Gen 8. When it launched, in a few days, it increased by 5,000 rupees. Will it repeat again? I don't know. But this is what has happened earlier. This has what has happened earlier, that the prices that they show today, right now, usually increases 4 to 5 days later. Okay, it might not increase. This being Intel, it is already a bad deal, but it might or it might not. Okay, let's go over the configurations. What you have to select: Windows 11. Don't get the Pro. Get it from somewhere else. You'll get it cheaper. Microsoft Office. Uh, Completely your choice. You can find online keys for 600, 700 rupees. I don't trust them. The official office is how much? I think 8 9K. So most people just, those who need office, they just get it. Okay. Moving on. I am not including it. I'm just adding because most will not. Without a question, get the 16 GB DDR5 4800 without a question. In case this one goes away, get this. In case this one goes away, in case this one goes away, get this only if you can find a RAM online. Okay, the problem is due to the RAM shortages, if you have to select two 8 gigs stick or one 8 gig stick, if you have to make a choice between these two, check Amazon, check Flipkart, check your offline market. Can you buy another stick of RAM for cheaper? If you can, sure, go ahead. If not, so yeah. For now, just select the single stick one. Sodium. Moving ahead. Not much different, 2500 rupees different. It's fine, just get the best SSD. There is only one display option in all, 100% sRGB, 144 Hz, 300 Hz. Moving ahead. This is the three options that you have to select. Please select the 1080p Full HD. Both are shit, but at least you will get something here. Color, no option, no option. RGB, up to you, up to you. Some say it increases the, what is that cost? Selling price, down the line when you want to sell the laptop, you can make some people's fool by just showing, oh, this laptop has RGB, so you might get extra. I don't know. That is one logical thing that I can understand. Anything else is beyond me. Moving ahead. I don't get this. Get from Amazon. Don't get this. I was sad there is no 60 80 watt hour battery, but there was a space. There is space here, but they just didn't add it. Fine. Thankfully, they have 230-watt charger, but it changes from configuration to configuration, as you will see right now. 13450HX and 3050 comes with 170-watt charger. The cost is 88,888. Okay, I will show this one and I will show it never again. So this is 88,888. Okay, without ADP, the cost comes to 74,000. Coupon discount, DME, get it, and credit card cashback on customized LOQ. Okay, so this is a customized machine. So when you go to check the discount, don't get confused. Let me clear this out right away. I know you will get confused and 50 people will ask me the same question. This comes under CTU. This does not come under the LOQ variant. This comes under CTU, customizable machine. And yes, this is only if you use it. Where is it? Where is it? Not on EMI transaction. The offer is not valid on EMI transaction. So you have to pay in full to get this cashback. This takes a lot of time to deliver, 2-3 months. That is the reality. Without ADP, the cost is 74,000, and that is what you will see here. Oh shit. I made a small mistake. Just give me a moment. Shit. How much is the difference now? 74, 82, 84. I think 4,000 more. Okay. Okay. Give me a moment. I am a very good boy, so I made a mistake, but now the mistake is over. So now you can see for 88, 88, 88, 88, 88, 88, 2 टकले 1 2 1 2. Anyways, 80 triple eight. The price is 74,099, and you can see approximately the same price here. Why approximately? I don't know. I will look into it later sometime. Anyways, so the basic idea is that's the price you get here. Now moving ahead, here are all the prices in front of you for each the variant. Let's look at them one by one. 74,000 for a 13450 3050, for 13450 HX, and 4050 for 82. For 84 you get 13650 and 3050 for 13450. This is the one we were interested in, 13700 HX 4060 100%. But seeing the benchmarks, I don't know. Let's see. 13650 HX, this is still decent options, but now we need to know how does this actually stack against earlier variants. Okay, and this is where the magic actually begins. This is where the magic actually begins. Okay, now let's go deep into it, and let's begin with the ranking. Which is the highest in terms, if you give equal points to both CPU and GPU score, CPU only multi-score we are taking into account, not the single score. 13620H and 4060 100% still a good value for money. 7840 HS 4060 45% is still good value for money. 7640 HS 4060 45% is still a good value for money. These both are the 45% variant. Moving ahead, finally we have something here, the 13450HX and 4050. This is a more better value for money as per the numbers. Anyways, we'll look into it more. If we just look into the GPU performance, I don't think anyone will come up. 13450HX 4060. This particular configuration keeps coming up again and again. Usually, what happened in AMD or earlier builds, that if you chose a higher GPU, the lower CPU would just move away. But this time they allowed a 13450HX with a 4060. If you just look at the raw CPU performance, here is where the magic happens. Here is how they all come up. Someone looking for more of a GPU performance. The difference between these two laptops is this is the average 23 days waiting period laptop, and this laptop you can get right away. That's the difference between these two. The above one is 1 TB, the down one is 512 GB. Anyways, that's the so yeah, let's remove all the filter. Let's go from price low to high. Let's see the thing is, this is a preliminary video. We need the actual score, we need the actual thermals, we need the ADB prices before making any decision. We need that. But let's say what I have figured out is, uh, let's start. This is the cheapest one, starts at 74,000. You pay 74,000 effectively for 2300 and 2600 score. If you lose a bit of multi-core and get a lot of, the thing is, most application now use multi-core a lot more than single core. But you get a 4050 instead of a 3050. Would I recommend it in this state? Probably not. Just to get that CPU performance just a little bit, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. Moving ahead, 13450 HX and 4050 with 100% SR. Oh, hold it. We forgot one thing, and that is these both are 100% sRGB. The next 100% sRGB is here, and its score are bad. So if we only select 100% sRGB, if we only select that, let's see what happens then. How it should be. 75K and above range. Now it suddenly starts to make sense. Hmm. But someone who's spending 74,000, would they not spend 4,000 more for a 4050? This much performance difference? I think they would. I think they would. And not only for 4060, this being the LOQ 16, this also has the 80 watt hour battery, and this also has the 16-inch screen and a CPU that doesn't take as much power. Yeah, that is something there are a lot of things that is confusing us. There are a lot of things that are confusing us actually. We do not know the actual thermals. We do not know what the power limits will be, how it actually performs. We know the numbers on the paper. The numbers on the paper don't tell the whole story. But you need to know the real life usage. Even if someone orders now, it will be 23 days. So we will have to wait for reviewers who get this laptop. And the most important thing, AMD coming in March. That is a big thing. Anyways, moving on. 3050 for this price, it's 100% SRGP. 74,000 and going from here to here. This makes a lot more sense. Okay, let's move this down. I was right. I don't like it here. Moving ahead. This was fine. This was fine here. The price gap isn't that much. Why you shouldn't consider LOQ 16 is beyond. You should consider LOQ 16 unless they remove 100% SRGP from LOQ 16. Have they done it already? Let's check it out. Uh, I don't like this. I don't like the way they think. I don't like to think the way they think. At least it's there for now. What about what the hell happened to 4060? Okay, 4060 is here, but it's in 13700H. What happens in 13500H? 4050. No 4050 with 13500H. 13620H. 4060 is there. 13420H. Okay, moving on. Moving on. The next variant is 13450HX and 4050 with 100% sRGB. Just below, we have 13620H with a much better single core score and a better high multi-core score and a bigger battery, and possibly that will last long. Is there any reason to get this over this? In my opinion, no. Moving on. 13650HX, 3050 and 100%. Finally, some good CPU scores, but 85K and you only get a 3050? No. We give 3050 at 50K, not at 90K. Moving on. We are left with 4050 and 4060. 13450HX, 4060 at 100% sRGB. And we have 13620H, 4060 and 100% sRGB. Similar story. Moving on. 13650H, 650HX, 4050 and 100% sRGB. Why get 4050 at this price when you can get 4060 at the same price just for a little bit of CPU performance? Moving on. Depending on what these scores come here. Because I saw 14700HX, let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. Why I am not removing these at least from here. Okay, this is not the same laptop. This is the Nitro with 32 GB RAM. So the score will be a bit smaller, but let's say the actual score comes and it is like 17,000 or something. Suddenly it starts to make a lot of sense. Suddenly it starts to make a lot of sense. You see the highest scores here in the last gen, 19,000. If this is true, if you see, as I said, this is going to be a very confusing video for me and for you. If this is true, it just might be here. And with similar story, 13650HX. Okay, you know what? Let's make it 17,000 just as an experiment. Let's see what happens there. Let's make it 17,000. 14,000 I can see highest. Let's pick the highest score. Usually I never do this. Whenever I pick score, I pick the score from the exact model. I saw 14,000. I didn't say anything above 14,000. 14,000 above 14,500. Is it 16 gigs or more? 32 gigs. Is it 16 gigs? 32 gigs. 32. 32. 13,200. 13,500. 13,500. The problem is we don't know if LOQ will perform to the same level as these or not. We do not know, and we only have to check the configuration that you are going to buy. It looks like this will only be 13,500 or 13,900, which I have written here. Anyways, but let's say this is 17,000. Suddenly this laptop, this configuration starts to make sense. If this is 17,000, if this is 17,000, if 13650HX is the same performance, it doesn't make sense. So basically, first thing first, LOQ, we need to know how the thermals are performing in the new LOQs. Second thing, the ADP should be clear. So these two things, only if they are clear, then we will come to here. Third thing, we will wait for some reviews and we will wait for the actual scores. Okay, so these are not the actual scores. These are average scores taken from very little amount of data. Maybe the multi-core score of 13450HX is far better than this. Maybe it's better for 13650HX. Maybe it's there. Who knows? But this, if the scores remain like this, they will not be 100% recommended. However, this variant, let's say, knowing Legion and knowing LOQ and knowing Lenovo from the past, they just might do this. And if they do this, this variant might be worth getting. Let's look into that configuration only. 14700HX, 4060. There is something different in the RAM here, if I remember correctly. I will select this. If this happens, this will be the most efficient, no, best value for money if it comes to CPU multi-core performance, as you can see from right here. CPU multi-core performance per 1,000 rupees. This will be the best one. So this is the laptop I am truly interested in, and I am actually at a condition right now that I have to make the purchasing decision. Didi is coming back and she needs her laptop and I need to buy one. भैया दूसरों को बहुत ज्ञान देते हो, खुद क्या खरीदोगे? पता नहीं है, सर दर्द है हमारा. Okay, before I leave, even if I ignored all your messages, I was still seeing you. ऐसा यहाँ कोनिया से हम देख रहे थे कि चैट चल रहा है, and that was good support. I like very much. So let's see who the people are who are so bored that they are not talking girls, and you can hear them also. Okay भाई, चल भाई आवाज दो, आवाज
ニト
दो.
ロ VK 愛式大使、サーラハンコ中バナテハイン YEA サーワレ。
अंग्रेज लोग चले जाओ. ये इंग्लिश पीपल प्लीज लीव नाउ, दिस वीडियो इज अबाउट टू एंड. देखो देखो क्या चल रहा है यहाँ पे, इसको बड़ा भी कर सकते हैं आई थिंक. देखो क्या चल रहा है. अबे कहाँ गया? हाँ, ये देखो क्या क्या चल रहा है. इसको कहते हैं सपोर्ट. कब गाली वाली तो नहीं लिखे हो? लव योर पॉपी फ्राइड वर्सेस बेक, ये देख रहे हो? चलिए शुरू करते हैं. अभी भी विंडोज 10 में परेशान है, हे भगवान. बम फोड़ दे बम. वाह, रीटेक. अच्छा रीटेक करना पड़ा था. लैपटॉप तो बैटरी लाइफ, क्या लैपटॉप तो बैटरी लाइफ के लिए लेते हैं, बैटरी लाइफ ही नहीं है तो क्यों ले रहे हूँ. ये लैपटॉप दिख रहा है, ये लैपटॉप यहाँ दिख रहा है, दिखाते हैं तुमको. क्या कहते हैं, उसका नाम क्या है? लेनोवो लीजन 2. ये लैपटॉप का 1 साल होने वाला है, ठीक है ना? ये लैपटॉप का 1 साल होने वाला है. खुल जा सिम, खुल जा सिम. ओपन ससी में. हाँ खुल गया. हाँ वो होना ही था. 18 साइकिल काउंट हुआ इस लैपटॉप पे आज तक. 18. 1 साल में ये लैपटॉप 18 बार चार्ज डिस्चार्ज हुआ. ये लैपटॉप हम बैटरी के लिए नहीं लिए था, परफॉर्मेंस के लिए लिए था. ऐसा परफॉर्मेंस जिसको जब जॉब लगे, जहां उठाए बैग में चल दें, सेम परफॉर्मेंस को मिलता रहे, वहां डेस्कटॉप बना रहे. आगे चलते. हाय हाय, मतलब कुछ उस टाइप के भी लोग आते हैं हमारे चैनल पे, बट कोई दिक्कत नहीं, सबको प्यार है अपना. कितना इंट्रो चलाओगे, वीडियो स्टार्ट करो. बताओ, वीडियो स्टार्ट कर दिए. लैपटॉप बैटरी हो गया, बात खत्म. एग्री नहीं, गाली दे रहा है, बताओ. रीटेक रीटेक. अच्छा, वो जो प्राइस गलत कर दिए थे, मैंने बजाएगा सब. आई वाज एबल टू गो इनटू. अच्छा, क्या पोस्ट कर देना, देखते हैं क्या वीडियो रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं. हाँ भाई, निशा जी स्टॉप सपोर्टर, सही बात बोल रहा. चलो, कुल मिलाकर हो गया. अंग्रेज लोग था तो उसमें खुल के बात नहीं कर पाए, क्योंकि आधा दिमाग चला जाता है इंग्लिश हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन में.
आपके लैपटॉप की स्पेक्स क्या है?
एक्सक्लेमेशन स्पेक्स डालो, दिख जाएगा. अच्छा, जो हमको खुल के बात करना है, खुल के बताते हैं भाई, है ना? जो उस समय नहीं कर पा रहे थे, खुल के बताते हैं. हमारी आंखों में सच्चाई देखो, ये सब छोड़ो, अपनी आंखों में सच्चाई देखो, ठीक है? LOQ है, कितना भी अच्छा नाम हो, ये हर बिजनेस करता है कि भाई पहले एक बढ़िया सामान निकालो अच्छा रेट में, बाद में उसका नया वर्जन निकालो, नाम वही रहने दो, चीज बदल दो. और हमको वही डाउट है कि वो LOQ के साथ तो नहीं कर दिया. इतना बढ़िया डिजाइन, चारों तरफ पंखा हवा फेंकने वाला, आज से नहीं चल रहा है. कब से चल रहा है,
ルルルルルルロロロロロラララララ。
कब
大勢
से
も
चल
う
रहा
It's my life word.
5800H आइडिया पैड, इवन ये वाला लैपटॉप जेन 6 जेन 7 जेन 8, ये अचानक ये अचानक क्यों उसको टू फैन डिजाइन में, क्या क्या उनके दिमाग में आया कि हाइपर, क्या बोला था, हाइपर क्लाउड, हमको नहीं पता क्या, जो भी नाम दिया हमको वो सबसे मतलब नहीं, हमको ये दिखाओ कि ठंडा कर सकते हो कि नहीं कर सकते हो, जो मेरे को बहुत बड़ा डाउट है। ठीक है, थोड़ा सा पैसा आ जाए मन तो करता है हम ही ऑर्डर करते हैं लैपटॉप, मंगा के ही साला देख लेते हैं। खैर, तो ये बात है। दूसरा, एडीपी नहीं क्लियर हो रहा है, मत खरीदो लैपटॉप, है ना, थोड़ा रिव्यू वगैरह आने दो। हाँ भाई, हाइपर चलो, हाँ बस हो गया। सही बात है, हाइपर चैम्बर। एनीवेज, थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग ऑन स्ट्रीम। ये स्टार्टिंग वीडियो था, आधा घंटा तक चला ये, हम सोचे तो 2-4 मिनट में खत्म करेंगे। ठीक है, हो गया बहुत बात की तुम लोग। देखो देखो, ये जो इंट्रो स्क्रीन है ना, दीदी बनाएंगे इंस्टा के चैनल में। आई फॉरगॉट टू चेक वन थिंग, and whose suggestion was this? Ashish Yadav, as he said on the chat, if you can see. uh, Legion CTO भी बता दो, and that gave me an idea. नहीं नहीं, it was not Ashish, it was Adavit. कहाँ गया, 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 कहाँ छुप गए, हमसे डरोगे? ये रहा, लीजन में तो नहीं दे दिया हाइपर चेम्बर, एंड दैट गॉट मी थिंकिंग कि अगर ये लीजन में ट्रस्ट करते हैं हाइपर चेम्बर डालने में, या मतलब हमको हाइपर चेम्बर से मतलब नहीं, बेसिकली बगल से वेंट बंद कर देना, इफ दे ट्रस्ट इट इन लीजन, इट माइट जस्ट वर्क इन एलओक्यू, इट माइट जस्ट वर्क। देखें कितना आर एन डी किया ये लोग, आर एन डी बहुत पैसा लगाता है, लेकिन इनोवा वाला ज्यादातर आर एन डी का जाता है सब लीजन में। ठीक है, ये कौन सा है, प्रो 7 आई, 7 आई में भी नहीं है साइड में, और कौन सा है, प्रो 5 आई, प्रो 5 आई में है। अच्छा, मतलब भरोसा है सब ब्रांड में नहीं, सब लाइन में नहीं, प्रो विल ऑलवेज बी प्रो, नहीं। और ये रहा स्लिम, स्लिम में भी है वेंट, लेकिन लीजन 7 आई और इसमें नहीं है, जबकि इसमें 4900HX का सीपीयू, सो आई डोंट नो, आई डोंट नो, बट दिस इज मोर इंटरेस्टिंग। प्रो 7 आई, और ये कौन सा है, प्रो 5 आई में नहीं किया। हम्म हम्म हाउ, कितना स्पेकुलेशन करोगे, आने दो देखते हैं, आने दो देखते हैं।